guys? It's Dominique, aka That Therapist. For those of you that don't know me, I am the lead clinician and CEO for a group practice known as Yellow Bird Counseling. What do we do? Well, we offer individual, couples, family, children, geriatric, teen, adolescent therapy in the states of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and New Jersey. So we offer therapy in those 4 states, and we offer in-person for Alabama clients. So definitely you have virtual and in-person options available for us. So that's what we do in our regular weekly routine. But what do we do here on social media? Well, another part of Yellowbird's effort is to break the stigma that surrounds mental health and wellness. So we do that in a few ways. One of those ways is by putting mental health statements on cool t-shirts to help you say with your chest what you need to say in order to start the conversation to break the stigma surrounding mental health and wellness. With that being said, if you go on over to our Yellowbird Counseling website, yellowbirdcounseling.com, and I'll put it in the comments. I'll actually put the link in the comments. You'll be able to purchase our retired designs for 50% off and our fresh new designs for 20% off just for this week only. And this is actually one of our retired designs that we created last year. So yeah, that's an option. That's an option. But another way that we join in the effort to break the stigma surrounding mental health and wellness is by doing these live discussions every Thursday evening at around 8 p.m. Central Time-ish, depending on how my last session goes or if I needed to provide anybody with any additional support before I come on. So 8 p.m. Central Time-ish, which is 6 p.m. Pacific Time-ish, which is 9 p.m. Eastern Time-ish. Okay, so definitely those are the times. If you have friends and family in other states or other time zones that would like to join, those are the ish times that they can join. They can also text live to our number. A lot of you may have already texted live to our number, which I'll put up here in a moment. And they can have notifications about when we go live and when we do special things on our live. For those of you that may know the special, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you're going to be sad. But if you do know, then you in there. You in there, and you know what those special surprises consist of. All right. So that's what we do. We do live discussions that the general population can relate to and tie it back to how we can all benefit from having a therapist, because we have rumors and myths going around that, oh, I gotta be crazy to go to therapy, or something's gotta be wrong with me in order to do therapy, or what's talking to somebody gonna do? What's that gonna do? Or I could just talk to my friend or my mama or my auntie, and that'll be my therapy. You know, so a lot of people have misconceptions about what that therapy actually is and what therapy actually does and what is actually provided in therapy. So again, that is why we do this weekly, to help break the stigma that surrounds mental health and wellness. And we do that by discussing topics that you and your friends and family and coworkers can relate to. All right, cool. So tonight we're going to wait. Before I do that, let me go ahead and put this link up so you guys can see that. I don't think my Instagram's working. That's okay. Let me put this link up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And if you want to, go on over there and get yourself or a friend or family member a t-shirt to help you say with your chest a mental health statement that can aid in a discussion to break the stigma surrounding mental health and wellness. And that can be your contribution to breaking the stigma. Another way you can contribute to breaking the stigma is by sharing this live. Definitely share this live, because there's probably at least one person on your timeline or in your groups or in your group chat or in your phone that texted you today, that you can copy and paste the link to the live to them, just as I copied and pasted the link to the live to you, and share it with them so they can join. Or if they're not available, then they can watch it on your story or your timeline later. Okay? So definitely do that to help spread the word and break the stigma surrounding mental health and wellness. All right? Cool. So I wanted to talk about New Year's anxiety as that time approaches. We only got, a week left in this year, a week and a few days left in this year. And I know that I know this personally because my clients who I've worked with, I have had clients that have expressed being anxious about the unknown, being anxious about how the new year might go, being anxious about not knowing how to prepare for the new year. Oh, man, I'm sorry, y'all. My Instagram is not working, and that's very distracting. So I wanted to be sure that I spread the wealth and share how we can get prepared for the new year and how to combat the anxiety that we could be experiencing in these coming days and until the new year approaches us. Okay, so New Year's anxiety, what exactly does that even consist of? What does that look like? Share it in the comments if you have any familiarity with it, or if you've experienced it for yourself, or if you know of a friend or family member who has experienced it. Then share in the comments, what does that look like? What does New Year's anxiety look like to you? And it doesn't have to be necessarily anxiety about New Year's Eve. It could be anxiety about 2023 as a whole, or the upcoming year as a whole, if we were already through 2023. But just in general, what is New Year anxiety look like for you? Or what is your idea of what New Year's anxiety can consist of? Again, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments so I can see what you guys have, and we can compare notes. How about that? So, a big thing, and I hope that people are moving farther away from this idea. Can y'all guess what I'm going to say? The idea of what? What am I going to say? People have this idea of New Year's what? New Year's what? The idea of New Year's resolutions. That is kind of like saying affirmations without knowing how to appropriately use them. And people are like, oh, affirmations don't work for me. Well, chances are you're not using them appropriately, and that's why they're not working the way that you think that they're supposed to work, which I have done a live on affirmations and how to use them appropriately. And then even a step further, if you can't find that live, you are more than welcome to set up an appointment, and we can talk about what does that look like for you, okay? What does that look like for you? Or if you have a therapist currently, asking them, how do I appropriately use affirmations? Because a lot of people think affirmation is just something that you say when you feel bad, or it's just something that you might say once a day or once every other day, or when you have a negative thought, that's the only time you say it. Not true. That's not how you use affirmations. And the same thing with resolutions, with New Year's resolutions. People, that concept has just been very overwhelming for people, especially if you deal with anxiety baseline on a normal day-to-day basis. Being made to feel as though you have to make a resolution to the new year that you didn't make in the previous year can be daunting, overwhelming, exhausting to even try to think about. So that idea, and again, not again, but Jennifer, one of our Gilbert counseling therapists, is going to further add to this discussion even more next week. But I'm just laying the groundwork out this week so you can go on ahead and get a head start. Then we will talk more with Jennifer next week about how to structure things a bit better. It's fine. But yeah, doing resolutions or making these big lofty goals for yourself. So an example of that is on January 1st, I'm going to start drinking a gallon of water a day. Well, for most of us, if we don't drink water, and especially if all you do is drink Coke, who is that? Drinking just cans of Coke, and that's all you drink. And I'm not talking about just Coke, but like soda. If you're just drinking cans and cans of soda and you don't never drink a drop of water, but you think January 1, you about to wake up and start drinking a gallon of water, I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, sis, it ain't going to go like that. It is not going to go like that because our bodies have what's known as a sympathetic nervous system. And our sympathetic nervous system is where our flights are housed. That's housed in our amygdala, in the middle, kind of the middle portion of our brain. But that is where our fight or flight responses are activated. And then we have a parasympathetic nervous system that helps engage our rest and digest. So that counteracts the sympathetic nervous system. So if you go from 0 to 100 or 0 drops of water to a gallon, that's going to throw your sympathetic nervous system into fight or flight. Your body could feel like it's in danger because your mind could feel like it's in danger because there's some level of comfort associated with them sodas you drinking. So let's say this, you may need to add a numerical value. And maybe, again, that can be very, very little. And that may be a baby step because baby steps are what make lifestyle changes, not big, dramatic overnight changes. Those don't make lifestyle changes. And studies have shown that they're a lot less likely to be continued after a certain period of time. So if you want to have long-lasting changes, they need to be mindful, okay? Mindfully planned. So what does that look like with our example with drinking more water? Well, so December 1st, you might say, or not December, but January 1, you might say, okay, instead of drinking 8 cans of Coke today, I'm going to drink 7 cans of Coke and 1 glass of water. And you can put that glass of water wherever you want to put it. You can go ahead and get it out the way at the beginning of the day. You can drink all 7 cans of Coke and drink it at the end of the day. You can throw it up in the middle of the day. I'll have 4 cans of Coke in the morning, a water, and then 3 more cans in the evening. However you want to do it, okay? But you can start a change with 1 step, and that is mindful. That's more mindful to actually say, okay, over this period of time, or this is where I'm going to start at. This is my starting point. And I always tell my clients with their starting point, if when you state your starting point and you still feel anxious about it, then you may need to make it a little bit smaller, just depending on what it is. Again, this is very general information. In order to tailor it more specific to your situation, you're probably going to have to set up an appointment with your therapist if you already have one, or if you don't have one, I will give you the number shortly in just a bit so that you can get connected to one of our Yellowbird counseling therapists that we have on staff. Okay, but we want to make sure that our first step feels attainable to us and it doesn't feel overwhelming to us. It feels like something that we can do. Once you get to the point of saying, okay, so let me put it into examples. So maybe you're like, all right, I drink 8 cans of Coke. I drink 8 cans of Coke a day, and I hate water. I just don't like to drink it. So maybe your first step might be having a half a glass of water with maybe some sort of flavoring in it, like I don't know, Crystal Light or something. Or myself, when if I go for a long time without having water and start back, I like to put a little bit of lemon juice in there, just a little bit of lemon juice, whatever works for your dietary restrictions. Okay. This is literally just an example. So don't go off telling your doctor, she said I could drink 8 cans of Coke and a half a glass of water. I'm just using this as a general example, okay? Whatever it is, your can of Coke might be smoking cigarettes. Your cans of Coke might be snorting cocaine. Your can of Coke could be overeating. Your can of Coke could be not great sleep hygiene. Your can of Coke could be letting people walk all over you and not saying no and always saying yes. Your cans of Coke can look different, but the whole point is making a baby step that feels attainable for your can of Coke. Okay? What does that look like? What does that look like? And that's an actual question. So put that in the comments too. I'm going to look at some of these other comments, but put in the comments, what might a baby step look like for you, or what baby step might you have tried? Let me look. Scrolling through, and please be sure you're sharing. If you got the text, please refer back to the text to make sure you have followed all the steps. Tammy says, setting unrealistic goals that I know I'm not going to keep. Exactly. Yep. And that was in response to what does my first question. And Hazel says, I do positive affirmations, maybe look toward completing goals that have been started. I have never done New Year's resolutions. Yeah, me either. I haven't really ever been. I mean, not since I was a little kid. I've never really looked towards New Year's resolution as a realistic thing that I could do. You know, it's always going to be a baby step. And I even take it a step farther. And it's like, how can each day, and that might be your baby step. How can each day look different or more productive than the day before? What small change can you make? And again, what is comfortable for you? So whereas for me, I can start off with drinking 7 cans of Coke and 1 glass of water. Someone else may have to drink 8 cans of Coke and drink a half a glass of water. And then maybe someone else may have to drink 8 cans of Coke, a quarter glass of water with some flavoring. It just depends on the person. And again, to make these goals more personalized, or make these points more personalized, you'll definitely need to figure out what does that look like for you. And if you're having difficulty sticking to it, and there's a barrier of some sort, then definitely you can set up an appointment and we can get you taken care of. Because here's the thing. Some people come to therapists for therapy, which is to treat some sort of diagnosis, some sort of mental health diagnosis. And then others come to therapists for counseling. Okay, so this is more of a counseling thing that I'm talking about. It's not a diagnosis related thing. This is a normal person thing. And when I say normal, I use that word real loosely. Okay, but for people to be able to relate, I have to use the words that you are familiar with. So for a lot of people, if you're normal, quote, heavy air quote, normal, then you don't need a therapist. But that's not true, because therapists also provide counseling. And for those of you that have not seen the therapy versus counseling video, that may be posted on our website now, or if you didn't see from when we posted it about a year ago, therapy is for some sort of mental health diagnosis. Counseling is like life coaching that a trained professional is offering you. So what does that look like? In counseling, we work on setting goals. In counseling, we work on maintaining goals. In counseling, we work on identifying goals. In counseling, we work on setting boundaries. In counseling, we work on maintaining boundaries. Counseling, we work on communication skills. In counseling, we learn how to say no. In counseling, we learn how to better structure our time. In counseling, we discover how mentally we can structure our finances. Of course, Therapists are not financial advisors, so for the actual dollar amounts and where to put those, you may want to look into a financial advisor. But as far as where's the barrier mentally that's causing you to not be able to allocate your finances in the way that you would like to, counseling does that. So you see, I'm sure all of us have at least experienced one of those things. Me, I know I've experienced more than one of those things. And that's okay. Because again, therapists provide counseling and they provide therapy. And then there may be those of you that may be like me. You may have started off seeing a therapist for therapeutic goals. And then as you become stable in whatever your mental diagnosis is that you're being treated for, then you may move over from therapy to counseling. And we're just working on what people that do or don't have a diagnosis would work on. Okay. So, or it can oscillate back and forth between the two, but hopefully we get you to a place where you're stable. If you have a mental health condition like myself, I deal with depression and anxiety. So I want to make sure that that's stable, keep that stable. And then I can continue on with my therapist working on counseling goals. So what does that look like? How do I build healthier boundaries in my practice? How do I communicate more effectively? How do I make sure that I don't lack in my self-care? How do I fit something else important into my schedule? How do I need to allocate my time into where? Like those type of excuse me. Those type of things are what you would work on in counseling. So that again is the difference between therapy and counseling and how a therapist can provide both. Let me look at some more of these. Yes, many people don't know the difference. Thanks for breaking it down. You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely. We mix it up. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just making sure you get the help you need. And nothing's wrong with getting help. Think of it this way. If you had a huge gash on your arm, would you be embarrassed to go and see a doctor to get that repaired? And if you would be embarrassed to go get that repaired, would you just throw a bandage on it and not try to clean the cut or anything? I mean, that is an option, but with that option, you run the risk of infection, which could potentially become gangrenous, which could potentially cause you to lose that part of your body. So there's that. Counseling and therapy can start off as a sting, as utilizing alcohol for a cut maybe, but what happens over time after you treat that cut and keep it clean? You'll be able to eventually douse alcohol on that cut and it's not going to matter. You're not going to feel it. It'll feel wet, but other than that, it's not going to feel painful or sting because you've been doing what you needed to do to allow it to heal, and it'll just be a scar, but it won't be anything that is sensitive to the touch, and it won't be anything that can become infected, and won't be anything that will prohibit you from being able to function. So that's you have to treat your brain the same way, because honestly, as somebody who has worked in a psychiatric hospital for a long period of time, it can get to the point where the sicker you allow yourself to get, the harder it can be for you to return back to a baseline of functionality. The sicker you allow yourself to get, okay, untreated, if you have something that you allow to go untreated, and I'm talking about mental health or physical health, then the harder it could be for the healing process, the longer it could take, and the probability of the healing task being effective could go down. So you do want to consider that and treat your brain with the same level of importance, and your emotions with the same level of importance, and your spirit with the same level of importance that you would your physical body. Okay. So that was my rabbit hole for resolutions and breaking all the surrounding points of resolutions down and doing mindful planning, which again, the only thing you take away from that is making a baby step, then that is where you need to start. And again, if you set a baby step and it causes you to feel, oh, I can't do that, then let's see about scaling it back a little bit and making it even smaller. Okay. I've had some clients that have dealt with, this is just a clear example, but like maybe if your room is dirty, okay? And I don't mean dirty like dirt in your room, but it could be, it could be. Maybe you're a hoarder, and which is another manifestation, and people don't know this, but that's a manifestation of a type of anxiety, hoarding and piling things up and keeping things that you don't necessarily need. That is an anxiety response. Okay. Could even be a OCD symptom, actually. And people are like, how can a hoarder have OCD? Well, you don't have a full understanding of what OCD can consist of, because OCD is not just people that wash their hands all the time or don't like germs. That's a type, but that's definitely not all of what OCD consists of. And honestly, hoarding can be a symptom of OCD. I know that's blown your mind. I already did the live a couple years ago, but I'll do it again so you can get a full understanding of actual OCD, not people who say, oh, I'm just real OCD about that. People use mental health terms way too lax. They use OCD way too lax, and they use bipolar disorder way too lax. People with, a lot of times when people are using it, they're not even using it correctly. They're not even saying it for whatever the actual clinical diagnosis would be of it. They're just saying something that's kind of like a fad they picked up on. And it's terrible, because people that actually are struggling with those diagnoses, it puts them at a disadvantage, because it makes other people who are not experiencing those diagnoses, it makes it harder for them to feel safe and comfortable around those people. So yeah. But anyways, I've had clients that, cleaning their room may be so overwhelming. So I'll be like, okay, what section of your room might you want to clean? And they're, oh, that's too much. I can't even think about that. Okay, what's one item on the floor that you can pick up? Let's look at your floor. And this is the cool thing about telehealth, because people can actually do their sessions from the comfort of their own home and start tackling with the support of their therapist, things that they may not have otherwise been able to do if they had to drive to the office, which we do. Again, Yellowbird offers both in-person and virtual, but the benefit that I've seen is that we're able to go on ahead and tackle things in real time, especially if the problem is in your house. So I'll be like, okay, what section? Oh, the section is too much. I can't even think of what section to start. Okay, what's one item? Let's look. Is there a sock on the floor? Well, yeah, there's a sock on the floor. Okay, can we pick the sock up? Just pick it up. All right, I can pick up the sock. Okay, there you go. You've already started, and I make sure to tell my clients, and I'm telling you this too, pat yourself on the back. Go on ahead and celebrate any success that you make, whether it's big or small. That's very important. It is important, especially for anxiety. You want to celebrate any success that you do, whether it be big or small. So if you pick up that one sock and put it in the dirty clothes, or maybe we pick up a pair of clean socks and put them in the sock drawer, we may do that. Then yay, let's celebrate that. Let's utilize that to let us know that we can do it. It may be one step at a time, one sock at a time, and that's totally fine. But eventually, one sock leads to another sock, which leads to another sock, which leads to another sock. And before we know it, maybe in a week, we've got, depending on the room, we may have the entire room clean, or at least a good portion of it clean, just starting with that very small baby step. So I hope that was good information for our first point of mindful planning versus making lofty, large resolutions. Okay. Ditch procrastination. If you always put something off and say, "Oh, I'll do it now, I'll do it then, or I'll do it then, or I'll do it then," do you have those tasks that you notice that you'll never do? Tammy said, that was a symptom of OCD. Yeah, me either until I did the research. Me either, right? Me either until I did some research on it. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll do another live on OCD, a deep dive into OCD and what it can look like and how it presents and what types of, what type of anxiety you can, all of that. I've done it. I did it before, and so you'd have to scroll back under our videos on our Yellowbird Counseling page and see if you want to see it before I do it. But that's one of those I press time to do again. But yeah. Let's see. Ditch procrastination. So have you ever had that task that you just keep putting off, keep putting off, keep putting off, keep putting off? I've had clients, again, that have had that issue. I have had that issue with procrastination. Another symptom of anxiety. Doesn't make you a lazy person. Doesn't make you not a goal-oriented person. It just means that a task is huge in your mind. It's so big in your mind that it's easier just to look away. Or even do it at the last minute. Have you heard, or are you yourself the type of person that says, "Oh, I work great under stress. I work great doing things at the last minute"? I used to say that too. Yeah, I used to say that too. I did. I used to be that person too, and ran myself into the ground and threw my sympathetic nervous system all out of whack and was living in survival mode for years with pressure and really taking pride in that, like it was a healthy thing that I was doing. No. It's not. It is good to plan ahead, and it's also good to go on ahead and execute the task. So this is what I have to do now to combat procrastination. As soon as I think of the task, I just go on ahead and do it. Like, for instance, if I'm going through emails, and for those of you that, emails is a heavy part of what you do, you can read an email. There's something in the email you're supposed to do. And so you're like, "Oh, I'm going to just put that off to the side." No, I force myself. That's where I stop reading my emails. If I have a task, like maybe I have a document I need to send for a client. Once I get to that email, I go on ahead and do what I can with that. And then I move to the next. Like I go on ahead and do it. Because guess what? Later may not never come. It may not never come, and not saying you won't be there, but later is going to keep getting later and later and later and later and later and later until then you have this huge to-do list and that you'll never get through because it just keeps growing and it don't get no smaller. So with procrastination, one thing that you can do to combat that is going ahead and do that task right then. I forgot, what is that? Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. That happens to me. As soon as I want to use a word that I commonly use all the time, or a phrase as soon as I want to use it on command, I'm like, but there's the idea. Let me look it up, y'all. I need to look it up. But setting a like saying you're going to do something later and you don't, it's a principle. What principle? I don't care. I'm going to look it up. And so y'all can know, so you can look it up too if you want to. Things off until later. Okay. It's going to pop up. Yeah, okay, it's procrastination, but yes. But it's some sort of, it's like a scientific principle. It's not, I forgot the name for it. I hate that. If any of y'all know in the comments, please put it in the comments. But it's a particular principle where, it's like if you keep putting things off, you're never going to do it. Okay. So you have to really just do it right then, or do it in that moment when you think of it in order to actually get it done. I can't remember, but it's a principle, and it's right on the tip of my tongue. I'll try to go back and look for it later, so I don't waste too much time. But definitely one way to combat procrastination is to just go on ahead and do it right then, or set aside a time, whatever time is important to you. So, for instance, put it in your schedule like you would put your work schedule, okay? And that is how I have had to help some of my clients reprocess their thoughts about a task. Because what's happening is the belief is, oh, that's not as important as this thing. So until we make it as important as that thing is always going to supersede this thing of equal importance. So we got to put it in our schedule just like we would for our work, if we have a doctor's appointment, whatever you actually will follow through with that's in your schedule, whether that's, if that's going to the gym, because it could be. But I definitely know for most of us, because if we don't work, we don't eat. So for most of us, our work schedule is going to probably be pretty high up in our priorities. So we're going to have to put whatever that task is in our schedule, just like we would with our work schedule. Okay. If we're not able to do it right then. Be selective about your commitments. Okay. Before you go fall off committing to all this stuff in the new year. Okay. Why don't you write them down in order of priority? Okay. Write everything down that you want to commit to. All right. And then prioritize it. Maybe by numbers. Okay, this is 1 most important, 2 second important, 3 third important. And then think with the realistic amount of time that you have. And again, you may need some assistance with this, because our society just does not function in a healthy way as a whole, as far as communication and setting boundaries and caring for ourselves as a whole. So there's a lot of societal ideologies that all of us have to work through in order to be able to take care of ourselves better. So being selective, that may even consist of learning to say no to some things. And I literally just worked with a client this past week on, like, if they needed to say no to something, and if they did, why they needed to say no to something, and then how saying no to that something affected them mentally and emotionally. Like, it was like layers to that. It wasn't, because people just think it's so easy. Well, just say no. It may not be that easy, especially if you're someone who deals with anxiety. It's not just that easy sometimes to just say no and move on, or just cut that person off. That could not be that easy. For some people, it's easier for them to distribute their pain evenly rather than rip off that Band-Aid all at once. So for instance, if you got a friend who you know that friend ain't good for you. You know they've shown you they're not good for you. Well, maybe they haven't shown you enough, because if you're like me, you're going to be like, well, we're all human. We make mistakes. And while I might be mad about that thing, I'm not going to stay mad about that thing. So for me personally, not let people just egregiously mistreat me. But if I start to see patterns, I can't just quickly cut somebody. Well, it depends. It has to be egregious. If it's super egregious, like super big, super harmful, yeah, I'll just cut them off right then. But if it's like kind of subtle, they're kind of subtle with it. It's not necessarily abusive. It's annoying and kind of disrespectful, but not like apparently disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like people that people that say little things and do little things like that. I might say, okay, if this gets done this many times, then I know that I need to walk away from that. Or with each time that they wrong me, that makes it harder and harder for me to come back. So I'll choose to organically leave that situation. And if they continue to do it, I'll just naturally do what I know I'm going to do, which is walk away from the situation if they keep making those same mistakes. But for some people, it may be better and healthier for them to just cut it off cold turkey altogether. That may be how some people need to handle it. And again, that is something that to best know how you should handle a situation like that, you would want to talk to somebody who's working with you on your specific situation. But definitely being selective about your commitments. And I just gave you two ways to do that. One, organize things in order of priority. And then after that, figuring out how much time those things will take and allocating that time accordingly. Again, you may need some more one-on-one help to be able to figure out what does that look like for you personally. But you do want to be selective with your commitments. Don't just take on, we're going to do this, that, this. If you've taken on 10 things or 5 things that you're going to do in this new year, I'm going to ask you this. Do you have a plan for it already? Do you have a plan how to execute it in a way that you will come out being successful at it? If it's already planned, great. But if you said no, definitely you're going to want to see if you can get hooked up with one of us so that we can actually help you make sure that your goals are executed in a safe and healthy way for yourself, right? Learn to set healthy boundaries. That sounds so easy, doesn't it? When I just say it like that, it's like, oh yeah, okay, set healthy boundaries. But once you really start thinking about it, and I've had all of my clients, let me say this, all of my clients are highly intelligent. All of them, I would not be surprised if all of them took IQ tests and all scored above average, to be honest with you. That's just the type of clients I have. But I've had even the most intelligent, this doesn't have anything to do with academic or book intelligence. This is more of like an emotional intelligence, which you can have people that have a high, what would be scored on an IQ test, but have low emotional intellect. And because of that, a symptom of that could be, I don't know how to set boundaries well, or I don't understand the concept of setting boundaries, okay? Or what does that even look like? If I asked you right now, and I'm gonna ask you, and you can answer if you want, what does healthy boundaries, what does that look like for you? How will you set up healthy boundaries, and in what areas of your life is most important to set up boundaries? And how do you maintain those boundaries? Okay? And how do you execute those boundaries? And how do you deal with it when someone challenges your boundaries? Like, once you start asking more specific questions like that, people start to get increasingly more confused or unable to answer them, because the concept of building boundaries, again, societally, even maybe within our own personal communities, is not a concept that is widely accepted. And what are you going to do if someone gaslights your boundaries? Someone came on the live last week and said that when they asked for space, they were told that they were weaponized. They were using that as a weapon. How? If you need space to make sure that you don't go off on somebody, how is that being a weapon? Not taking your space is probably more of a weapon. So that's what I'm saying. How do you maintain your boundaries in the face of people gaslighting you or making you feel bad about your boundaries? So ask yourself those questions. You can answer in the comments if you want, and I'm going to take a look. Absolutely. If it's overtly disrespectful or harmful, you got to leave. Exactly. Stepping away and protecting your peace, especially with family. And that's hard. That's hard, especially in the South. Woo! Blood is thicker than water. Family means everything. You supposed to do this, that, and the third for your family. If your family is toxic and harmful, You don't, well, first of all, let me even say, before I say that, you don't owe anybody, you don't owe nobody a spot in your life. You do not owe nobody a spot in your life. And I'm going to take it a step further to say, if they, especially if they are toxic, harmful, disrespectful, disregarding, then you definitely don't owe them. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they gave birth to you. I don't care if they participated in the production of you. I don't care if they are your, I don't care if you gave birth to them. People need to respect your boundaries, and you need to respect people's boundaries, okay? But because, again, how society and community and even regions of the country or regions of the world have taught us, oh, you're supposed to stick by people regardless. Nope. It's a very unhealthy ideology that has caused people a lot of harm to think that. So yeah, I'm glad you said that with the family. Sharon said, I am a procrastinator. So the way I handle it is, if I say I'll do it, I set daily reminders, and I'm also okay with saying no, I can't do it. I simply don't have time. Exactly. But sometimes that can be hard. And that sounds, to some, that might sound simple, but as a person that has experienced something along those lines, it's just not that easy. And sometimes you need additional help. But definitely glad, Sharon, that you're at that point, because that's definitely going to help you with your overall self-care. Get right to it, because otherwise it may never get done. Yep. Bad procrastinator right here. It's horrible. Yeah, definitely utilize some of those techniques, or if you need some additional help, then definitely I'll put the number up in a little bit if you don't already work with us. I love analogies, Amaris. That's how, I got to make it make sense to myself. So I feel like if it makes sense to me, somebody who's kind of skeptical, then I got to make it make sense to you. I got to make it make sense to you too. So learning to set healthy boundaries. And that's in lots of areas. What kinds of relationship boundaries do you want to set? And you got to break that down even farther to family, friends, dating interest, employment spaces. What is your boundaries? What do you want your boundaries to look like for that in this upcoming new year? And again, you may need to sit down and process that with somebody, and for your individual life circumstances, how can you carry that out effectively? Being aware of burnout. Okay? You need to be aware. If you are noticing that if your physical functionality is changing, or if you notice that your mood is changing a lot, if you notice frequent changes in those areas, or if you notice a drastic change in those areas, you may want to look at if you are experiencing some level of burnout. And if you are dealing with not being able to set healthy boundaries, then chances are you could possibly be dealing with burnout, or you're at high risk for burnout, okay? So definitely you want to be aware of if you're dealing with any kind of burnout, and what the onset of burnout can look like, okay? Again, you want to make sure that your self-care is beefed up. I literally said this to a client this evening. So I said, maybe in the summer months, from April to October, okay? From April to October, you might can get away with and feel completely replenished by doing just a morning self-care regimen. Well, in these winter months, when you're dealing with the seasonal saddies from from November really is when I start having my clients start experiencing it. From November to about March, you might need to have a morning and an evening routine, because definitely during this time you want to baby yourself a little bit more. You want to give yourself way more self-care than what you would have ordinarily, and that's not wrong. That's not wrong. I literally had to tell a client who I've been seeing for years that is not wrong. Okay, because again, our society teaches us to work tirelessly without rest and earn your breaks. No, in order for us to be productive, we do need to allow ourselves rest and self-care at more than just a minimal amount, especially during these winter months. And then on top of that, not only is it the winter months where you'll already have seasonal saddies, but life is not going to stop lifing, neither. So someone might get sick, you might get sick, heaven forbid, or whatever entity you believe in, of course we don't want anybody to get sick, but you could get sick. Someone that you love could get sick. There may be a job loss. There could be a financial stressor. So then on top of that, you might need to throw another self-care time in there. So it may look like around this time, you might have a morning self-care regimen, a lunchtime or afternoon self-care regimen, and an evening self-care regimen to help get you through October to March. Okay? So you do want to be sure that your self-care regimen is adequate. All right? And I'm not just talking about, I go get my nails done. Yeah, that can be part of your routine, but daily self-care is not going to consist of you going to the nail shop every day or getting a massage every day or doing a face mask every day. That's not going to be all your self-care consists of. It could consist of grounding techniques. It could consist of an affirmation regimen. It can consist of structured journaling techniques. It can consist of EFT tapping, which I love because it's also a part of what I do at EMDR. But I was talking to someone about that today too, just the EFT tapping. All right, like the emotional regulatory tapping for anxiety, and this is really helpful. With EMDR, we take it a step further and we add someplace real or imagine that you felt the most either calm, comfortable, safe, happy, relaxed, whatever your positive word of choice is. So it could consist of me. I haven't done it recently because it's been very cold and wet outside. So I haven't done it within like the past week, but doing the acupressure deep breaths and standing outside barefooted, because I do definitely subscribe to energy work, because I think that we are energetic beings and we do got to release extra or excess or bad energy. So standing flat footed, and they do have energy mats for those of you that, subscribe to energy work. And I always ask my clients before, like, what are your thoughts on energy work? And if that's not something that they, but we are very energetic beings down to the molecular level. Like we literally down to our atoms, energy is what makes our body run. And energy is what makes the universe run. Literally down to the atom, the proton, the electron, okay, the neurons, and the nucleus, and all of that movement in there is energy related. So if our energy is off, it can cause us to feel more anxious. So me as an anxious person, I like to do the acupressure deep breaths where you massage this area between your thumb and pointer. One of my nurse practitioners told me it also releases endorphins, and then that's a slow, deep breath. No, you're going to feel like you're lightheaded and passing out. But like How slow can you breathe in and how slow can you breathe out? I'm going to do it real quick. If you want to do it with me, if you're able, if you're not driving, or if you're not cooking, or if you're not doing something with your hands, massage this area. See how it feels. Just give it a shot. Just give it a shot. We're going to take 5 slow, controlled, deep breaths. See how long that was? If you didn't make it the whole time, let's see if you can go a little longer. See if you can go a little longer. If you didn't make it that whole time, try to go a little longer. We're on number 3. Number 4. Last one, number 5, make it count. Slow as you can in and as slow as you can out while you're massaging this. I even feel more centered and grounded even just doing those 5. Now, ordinarily, you probably want to do a little more than 5, especially if you're, a little more highly anxious. But I literally stand outside barefooted doing that before I start my day. And with the type of work that I do, I need to be sure that I'm level and grounded, because I deal with people not only from a therapeutic perspective, but I have to also deal with people from a business perspective. And sometimes I have to integrate the therapeutic and business perspective. And so to be able to oscillate between those throughout the day, I need to be sure that I start the day grounded. I don't need to start the day with excess, extra, or unnecessary or harmful energy. So I need to set myself. So I have a whole morning routine that I do, which consists of my coffee, my morning shower. And if I miss any of these, I can tell. But it's my morning shower. I take an evening shower too. But my morning shower, long morning shower, my hot cup of fresh coffee, my breathing routine. I reset up my workspace so that it is comfortable and organized. And then I start my day. I'm grounded. And when my first session pops on, I'm usually like, hey, even if I had to do administrative tasks before that, I'm still like, hey, and just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You know what I'm saying? Because I took what I need. I took the time I needed to take to ground myself in my day first. So the EFT tapping, yoga is good for people. That works for some people. I heavily utilize guided meditation in my practice. And guided meditations for specific things. Guided meditation. You can go on YouTube and look these up for free. Guided meditations for anxiety, guided meditations for depression, guided meditations for stress, guided meditations for grief, guided meditations for sleep, guided meditation, any type. Guided meditations, people do the binaural brain waves that have been really God, y'all, I just can't even find my words, but the binaural brainwave stimulations that really help people for different things, that you find binaural brainwave frequencies for different things, for pain, for anxiety, for all sort of stuff. Okay. And journaling, that's one. And people are like, oh, no. Try writing something down. Try writing something down and see how the impact of it is different than just thinking about it in your head and letting it roll around, especially with anxiety. The name of the game for anxiety, is getting those thoughts out of your head. You can't keep them up because your thoughts will just race and just build. And before you know it, a molehill has become a mountain because it's just rolled around in your head and had a snowball effect and got way bigger. And now you just don't want to look at it at all. Now you're procrastinating and now you've put something off. And I'm telling you, as someone who deals with anxiety, I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. This is a mixture of experience and education. Experience and education. And I really think that's what makes great therapists is experience and education. Okay? I'm not just saying, No, it's got to be a routine and it's got to be structured. It's not all you have to just do anything. And in fact, with anxiety, it may not be just any one thing. It may be a combination of things. And that's why we have routines. Okay. So yeah, those are some things. And I'll just restate them. Mindful planning over doing resolutions. That's one thing you want to look at for the new year. How can you be proactive about not procrastinating, committing very selectively to things in the new year, learn to set healthy boundaries, be aware of burnout, and take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Those are the points. Any question? What has helped you the most when it comes to guided meditations? Me, I have done guided meditations for anxiety, and I also have this really great one, guided meditations for overthinking. So if you're in the text group, which I'm going to put up, I can share that with you. Guided meditations are overthinking, which is good for folks dealing with depression, anxiety, or OCD. But let me put the number up. If y'all don't have it for our text community, let me put it up. And then I haven't forgot, if you know, you know. All right. But literally, this is our YBC number right here. If you're interested in becoming a new client, you can screenshot it. Screenshot this. I also put it in the chat so you can have it. Text. Oh, wait. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'll put it under the website so you'll have it all in one spot. My comment about the website. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, wait, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can. Okay. So the website, scroll all the way at the top, but text, and this is so you can copy and paste it. New. Or you can take a screenshot if you're not in a place where you can. New. Text new to 205-964-5201. All right. Text new to that if you want to be, if you need a therapist. Oh no, I put an extra thing there for a forward slash. Just ignore that. But text the word new. Or if you're on the live and you want to know about our lives and when we do our giveaways, you can text the word live to that very same number. Or if you don't have an insurance that we take and can't afford to pay out of pocket, you can text the word intern to that number and you can be set up with an intern. Or if you're a mother with small children and you feel like you need extra support and community, you can text the word mom to that number because our mommy support group is about to start back up. And if you are seeing a YBC therapist already, then just text their first name to that number so you'll be in their community. If you're already seeing a YBC therapist, just simply text their first name to that number. So yes, this is our number. This is how we, communicate with our people, and we can have other people than just myself respond back to you other than, and that's how we do it. So you can text any of those words, new, intern, mom, whatever you need, live, all to the same number. You can just text it there and we'll get you taken care of. Okay. But the number for those of you on Instagram is 205-964-5201. Again, that's 205-964-5201. Okay. And you can text that to your friend or family member if they need any of that, and everything's set up for them, and we'll take it from there. All right. So that's another way you can join in the effort to break the stigma surrounding mental health and wellness, is encourage a friend or family member or coworker, whoever it is, to reach out to us. And all they got to do is simply just text new to that number or intern. Okay. But if you want to know what insurances we do take, since I did make mention of it, we take Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm going to say them slow. So if you hear your insurance, you can be like, yay. And if you don't hear your insurance and want to pay private, that's fine too. We have great private pay rates, and I'll go over those as well because they're on our website. Or if you don't want to pay out of pocket, then we have interns that work under my direct supervision who I work with very closely. So there's not a case that they work on that I don't know anything about. Unless they're working with a friend or a family member of mine, then I have another one of my independent licensed therapists staff that particular case. So my friends be like, hey, did my therapist talk to you? They didn't. We don't talk about you. I'm real careful about conflict of interest. So I don't know. If my best friend goes to see one of my therapists, I have no clue what they're talking about. I do not. I have them paired with another therapist to advise them on that if they need help with that. But I stay completely out their business. If they want to include me in it, that's their business, and they can include me from their end. But as far as from the practice, I don't. I'm real particular about boundaries and ethical practice. So if my friends are because I think all my therapists are the best therapists ever. The therapists I hire at Yellowbird are the best. That's what I think. So I am going to refer my friends and family members, and a lot of my friends and family do see my YBC team. And again, I stay away from that. I let them work in peace with their therapist. So, yeah. But anyways, that's your way. You can share this number and just share the word to text. But we do take Blue Cross Blue Shield. All Blue Cross Blue Shield policies we take, unless you have a weird Blue Cross Blue Shield policy that's like maybe actually a Medicare. And even with that, I got Jennifer who can take Medicare, and I'm getting Tiffany Tish credential for Medicare. Since she likes working more with our geriatric or elderly population, and I'm getting her credential with Medicare first. So, and Jennifer's already credentialed. But we do take Blue Cross Blue Shield, Medicare, TRICARE, Viva, Cigna, Aetna. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Medicare, TRICARE, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Oh, wait, dang, I already said that. Let me start over. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Medicare, TRICARE, Aetna, Viva, Cigna. All right, those are the ones that we take right now. I'm working on UHC. UHC is not very responsive. But trust me, I'm going to go in on them on UHC at the top of the year when they're back and refreshed. But UHC, I'm working on that. But we can take UHC if you're able to get what's called a single case agreement. Okay, I do have clients who I see that have UHC that are my own clients that I see, and the way that that's United Healthcare. For those of you that may not know the acronym or the abbreviation, but United Healthcare, we can take if you call them and ask them for it and request a single case agreement. If you request that and your policy allows for that, then we can take that and we can take your UHC that way until we're officially in network. But I have at least one client that I'm thinking of right now that has they requested a single case agreement, and UHC covers their session 100%. They don't have a copay or anything. And I'm not even in network with UHC, and they pay for the whole thing. So that we can do that for you too. So let your friends and family members know. All right. But UHC and Bright Health are the ones I'm gonna be working on in the upcoming year. But we do have those other 6 that I named, 6 or 7 that I named. Okay. Or if you want to pay private, you can see one of my resident therapists, and their rates are $65 per session. And our interns are free, $99 per session. And if you want to see, maybe you don't have insurance, but you want to see one of my advanced independent licensed therapists, they are $75 per session. Okay. So I try to make things real affordable, especially for the region of the country that I live in. You know what I'm saying? I want to be mindful and make healthcare accessible. All right. So yeah, we got you. Literally anything we can help. Literally, I have the practice set up so any type of person, no matter your financial situation, we can help you if you want the help. Okay, we got you. If you got $0 in your account, I can help you. Okay, we can offer you free therapy, and my interns love it, and they're all great people. I had somebody tell me, "Oh, I don't want to work with the intern because I don't want to work with someone learning the ropes." Let me tell you about these interns. Let me tell you about the interns that YBC chooses. These interns, they may be interning as counselors, but their counseling experience, this is not their first rodeo, okay? I have Lindsay, who came to us from the Crisis Center. She used to work for the Crisis Center. And then Ellie and Dana, they have their specialties in their own right, but they have experience, okay? They're just, going through the educational requirements to become officially a therapist, but I have not had not one complaint from any of the clients working with any of my interns. Have not had not one complaint. Okay, so they're great. If they weren't great, they wouldn't be here, because I already was looking for a superior. My interns have to come in, first of all, if they're Black or brown, they have to come in giving me something about their work with anti-racism, their anti-racist work, their acknowledgement of their white presenting privilege, and they have to accept all of my LGBTQIA plus. So that's that. But if they are Black or brown, they still got to accept my LGBTQIA plus and be at least an ally. Okay? They have to at least ally with the community. Otherwise, it's a no-go. It's no-go. Because the large majority of my clients at YBC are either Black or brown, or LGBTQIA plus, or both. Or now I got sex workers that come in, or I got non-binary people that come in, or I have, transgender, still in the LGBTQIA plus, but I have very special patients and clients that I see. And so I can't just have no old willy-nilly therapist up in here. They got to let me know that these people will be safe with them. Okay. So safety is key. And I'm talking about mental and emotional and physical safety. Okay. So yeah, I gave y'all my spiel. And I've had y'all on here for hour 19, so let's wrap it up. If you know, you know. Because it's the holiday season, and for those of you that did what you were supposed to do, you shared this live in steps, it's time for the Cash App giveaway. And I'm not just doing $100 tonight. Let me see. Y'all put in the comments, what should I do? Should I do 200 or should I do 250? What do y'all think? 200, 250. Y'all put it in the comments. What should I do? Because it could be you that wins. 200 or 250. What should I do? It's the season for giving. And YBC is a very giving practice. We were founded on free sessions. My very first client that I ever had in my practice, I served for months for the free because I couldn't take their insurance. And I was, didn't know what else to do. And I didn't want them to go without services. So I was doing it for free. So YBC is a giving practice. That's what we do. One of our ideals is giving. So what should I do? Y'all better answer me. Let's see. Let me see what y'all talking about. Somebody gave a good thing, 100 each for 2 people. What do y'all, and you know what? I might do it like, if I do 2 people, what I'll do is I'll do 250 and give away 125 per person. So what do y'all think I should do? Somebody said they like the 2 winners. Come on, y'all, weigh in. I'll definitely do 250 if I can do 2 people. I'll do 200 for one anyway, but I'll definitely do 250 and give away 125 a piece to 2 different people. Split it, yeah. 2. All right. That's what it is. It's looking like 2 people. So let me count. If you already put your Cash App, don't put it again because it'll confuse me. But I don't got no pen. Hold on, because I don't have a secretary tonight to help. So let me grab a pen. Let me grab a pen. All right. Got y'all. All right, we're gonna do 250. Thank you, Danielle. Look at Danielle thinking of others. And I hope you win. Because you know what? I'm a big believer in in karma, and you reaping what you sow. So I hope that it weighs in your favor that you're a winner, because that was your suggestion. You thought of someone else when you could have just thought of yourself. And so that's great. But I'm going to scroll all the way to the top and see. Remember, you have to have shared, and I have to be able to see it. So you better go and make sure that it's public on your page so I can see it. Okay. And that if the number stops on you, I'm going to check it that way. That's how I'm going to check to see if you shared it. I'm going to go to your page and see. But we're going to start first. Let me see. Let me make this bigger, because my eyes is bad and y'all gonna be all up in my forehead. So Tristan, and I'm gonna say your name and your number twice. So please, if you're under the sound of my voice, listen carefully for your name and your number, because I will say it twice. Tristan Malone is number 1. Tristan Malone, number 1. Amanda Witherspoon is number 2. Amanda Witherspoon is number 2. Nikki Leilani, is it Leilani? Nikki Leilani is number 3. Nikki Leilani is number 3. Okay. Lakira is number 4. Lakira, you're number 4. Tiffany is number 5. Tiffany, you're number 5. Malika, I'm saying people that I see regularly. That's why I hear all the time. They're like major supporters. That's why I'm doing them like that. But Malika, you're number 6. Malika Cole, you're number 6. I was spelling your name wrong. Khadija Finley, you are number 7. Khadija Finley, and I love Khadija because that's my favorite second cousin's name. Khadija Finley, number 7. Hazel! Hazel Evans is number 8. Hazel Evans, number 8. Sharon Gray. Sharon Gray is number 9. Sharon Gray, number 9. I fought for Sharon last week. I was like, no, Sharon is a loyal supporter. I need to fight for her. Sharon is number 9. Okay? Chloe be on here too. Chloe Love is number 10. Chloe Love is number 10. Tammy, welcome Tammy. Tammy Bell is number 11. Tammy Bell is number 11. Lex is number 12. Lex is number 12. Natasha is number 13. Natasha is number 13. And Amaris has been in here. Amaris. The dogs are getting upset at me raising my voice. Amaris is 14. Amaris, you are 14. And since I'm writing y'all down, I'll know if people put their thing up there twice. Let's see. Oh. Jarrell Bryant is number 15. Jarrell is number 15. Jarrell Bryant, you're 15. I didn't say your last name, so I gave you 3. So you would know. Alexis Carl is 16. Alexis Carl is 16. Danielle is 17. Danielle is 17. Danielle Robinson, 17. K Candles. K Candles is 18. K Candles is 18. All right. Ooh, 250. I like y'all. I like that, y'all. I'm sure they will be grateful regardless, but I just like to give. I started doing these giveaways at the beginning of the pandemic because I had never in my time in life seen so much despair at such a large scale. And so I just felt helpless and didn't know what else to do, but I knew that people needed resources. And the main resource that people need, at least here in these United States, is money. Okay? So and you sometimes, and it could be even hard to think about getting therapy if your financial needs aren't being met. So I was like, let me contribute to people's financial needs so that I can contribute to their mental health needs. Okay. So yeah, that's why I started doing these giveaways. And people have tried to get me to give away other things or give away different things. And I just know it's on my heart. I want to do these money giveaways. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Let's see. All right, I think that might be everybody. I just want to make sure I didn't miss nobody. All righty. Make sure I didn't miss nobody. I think I named everybody. Yep, I did. All right, cool. I got everyone. So we're ready, and we're going to do $225 giveaways. That's what we're doing for 2 people. So let's go to our number wheel. I got 18 people. I put everybody's names up there. So let's see. I have won a couple times this year, and it's definitely a help. I've been sending some back for my copay. You know what? Each one teach one. I don't know. Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? See, now y'all know it ain't no cap. And then in the humble beginnings, Lakira used to win all the time. When it was like only 2 people doing it, Lakira was winning all the time. Lakira just come in here, collect our money, and be like. So yeah, I'm glad you said that, Danielle, and I hope that you could be another one of the winners, because it was, and I say that because you one, you support, but 2, just your thinking about other people. But y'all know I don't pick the winners, the number wheel does. So let me Chloe said, today is my day. Lakira said, yes, I used it for swim meets and self-care. Good. See there? All right, let me pull up a new tab. Actually, I got one pulled up already. But let me just delete that one. Let y'all see me at the very beginning. Okay, let's see. All right, let me share first let me pull up a new tab. And then let me share my screen. Hold on. All right, let me see. All right. Wait. No, I don't want to upgrade for extra camera. Okay. Share screen. Share tab. New tab. There we go. Now we're sharing. Now y'all can see. Now y'all can see me start from the very beginning, right from the Google browser search. Random number wheel generator. Okay. So the number picker wheel, it has wheel of names. Let's do this one. Let's just do this one. Let's switch it up a bit and pick a different one to do. All right. Let's see what this one looks like. If it's not as cool as the other one, then we're going for the second spin, we'll do the other one. Spin the wheel. All right, let's see. All right, cool. Okay. What? Okay, so I got to enter it like this. Add segment. Wait a minute. I'm not going to type all this. Reset wheel. Man, you got to do. Actually, okay, I'll just do it since I'm here. It would take just as much time. All right. Add segments. Okay, cool. All right, click to spin. All right, let's do this. Let's see if it works. Ah, 15. Who's 15? Jarrell, number 15 is for our first $125 winner. Jarrell for our first $125 winner. So y'all give them some hearts and likes and congratulations in the comments. Let me find Jarrell's Cash App. Let me find Jarrell's Cash App. But Jarrell, are you here? Jarrell, are you here? Because you do got to be present to win. Let me make sure. Jarrell, you got to comment that you're okay. Yep, there go Jarrell. And let's make sure Jarrell shared. Let me go and make sure Jarrell shared. Jarrell said, of course I'm here. All right. Okay, cool. Let me check, Jarrell. Make sure you share. I better see Let's see. And that's the only thing I gotta check. All right. Let me put your last name in there. Okay. Jarrell. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Yep, he did. Ooh, and I saw that I spelled, there was a typo in the title. I even got to see that. Thanks, Jarrell. So let me send Jarrell that Cash App real quick. Let me do that. Because y'all know I do it in real time. I don't wait. Because remember that procrastination thing, which I wouldn't do it for this, but this is a good example. I got to do it right then and there. And I also do it so people don't know that it got done for real and you can see that it ain't no cap. Pay. Go to Jarrell. All right, Jarrell Bryant. Let's see. Jarrell. Bryant. I need to take it off this thing so I can type with both fingers. Do it faster. I need some new glasses, y'all. They keep falling off my face involuntarily. It's crazy. I can't even throw my head back and laugh. My glasses falling all off my face. Okay. Jarrell Bryant 1. Yep, making sure it's the right person because I have sent it to the wrong person before. Congratulations from Yellow Bird Counseling with 3 hearts. Okay. Let me just, okay. Hold on. Y'all, it's already starting to rain and y'all know it's going to be cold, so be mindful of your pets, plants, and pipes tonight. Bryant. Jarrell Bryant 1. Okay, there he is. I know that's him because I can match the faces. It's just because it has said Jay Bryant and I was confused. So I wanted to double check. All right, it's sending. Whoop, whoop. Tell us when you got it. Tell us when you got it. See that? I can just hit my glasses. They just fall right on off. All right. Cool. Congratulations, Jarrell. Enjoy that. And let's go on to spinning our wheel. Oh, man. My life. No, it didn't. Okay. There. All right. So let's go on to the second person. All right. Y'all ready to spin again? Let's see. Got it. Okay. All right. He got it. Cool. All right. Let's spin again. All right. Who will our second winner be? Lakira, you back in business. And I know Lakira shared. I know she did. Lakira been here since the beginning of time. But I'm going to check, just to be fair. I'm going to check, Lakira. But I know you shared. I know you did. Lakira, oh my gosh. I'm so happy. Okay. Okay, let's see. Mr. Carter, hush your mouth. All right. Oh no. I can't. I just, because your page is private. That's the only reason. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me see if I can look. I can look and see if it says sharer. I can look like that too. Just to be fair, I'm just doing it to be fair, but I'm 100% sure Lakira shared. All right. But I did check for Jarrell, so let me check for Lakira. Then I'm going to send it. Okay. All right. Actually, I can look here, right here. Hold on. All right. All right. Look right here. I know you did, Lakira. Just, hang on. Hang on. Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, Lakira did. Lakira shared. Okay, cool. All right. So, Lakira, let me send you yours, and this will be quick because I done sent Lakira lots of money. 125. All right, Lakira, congratulations from Yellowbird Counseling and the 3 hearts. Yay. And then it's sending. Yay! Hold on. Let me stop sharing so I can. All right. I sent it to Lakira. And Lakira, tell us that you got it. Okay? Yay! Oh, thank you. Got it. Thank you. Yay! Awesome. Again, y'all don't forget to, and then next week, like I said, Jennifer will be coming to expand on, New Year's goals and getting your mind straight for the new year. So definitely join us next week and possibly another chance to win. Who knows? Definitely pop on over to the store. Because again, for this week only, we've got 50% off of our retired designs, which here's one of them. Here you go. It's not crooked. Just having trouble. Okay. And then our fresh new designs are 25% off. So definitely go take a look at our, you can go to Yellowbird Counseling. The link is at the top of the comments. If you scroll all the way up, you can go to yellowbirdcounseling.com. Instagram, you can click the link in my bio. Yellowbird Counseling, you can click the link in my bio and you can see. So you can go. And once you go to our website, select the YBC brand, shop, and that is where you will see all of our new designs. But I put the link directly to the shop at the top of the comments if you scroll up. But yes, I will see you all next week. Y'all have a very merry holiday, whatever you call it. I know everybody doesn't celebrate Christmas, so have a very merry holiday, and I will see you right before the new year. Be safe tonight. Remember your pets, plants, and pipes. It's supposed to get down really, really low, and I heard it's already started raining. Okay? But be safe, stay warm, and enjoy yourselves. Have a good evening. Bye.